Hello, or good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, or good whatever time of day you're watching this. This is another edition of Maddie's Rap, the show where our focus is on the enhancement of your mind, body, and spirit. I'm your host, the multiple award-winning author, Matt D. Talford, author of a couple of amazing books, which I'm going to withhold telling you about until the end, including some pretty compelling reasons to read them. But today I want to jump right into the subject matter, which is all about why it is so important to stay in a high vibrational state as best as you can. So to give you the backdrop, today I came in here to record a video on a different subject matter that I won't go into right now because I may or may not record that at this point. But probably I want to say about 5-10 minutes before I was all set to record, I had my lighting and everything set up. A very good friend of mine came in. Shout out to you, Miss Henrietta. And in fact, shout out to your sister Carla and her daughter, because these are you all are some very amazing ladies. And it is such a gift and a blessing to have you in my life. You ladies inspire me more than you may ever know. Okay, so I want to give you guys a special shout out. So my good friend, Miss Henrietta, she came in and she was telling me about some different things that were going on. And her being here today sort of gave me the impetus to record this video on vibrations, vibrational frequencies, and how they map to our emotions. Now, some months ago, I did a video titled "Do Opposites Really Attract?" And I think this is the side of the screen it's going to show up on when I add the card here. So if you're watching it on a phone or a tablet, you can click on that little card to cue it up and watch it later. But in this video, the title was "Do Opposites Really Attract?" And that had to do with showing or illustrating how like attracts like. Now, why is that important with today's subject matter? It's important because if you are in the state of being in one of those emotions that maps to a lower vibrational frequency, maybe I need to do one on why it's important to stay hydrated too. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. If you're in one of those, an emotional state that maps to a low vibrational frequency, you are going to attract low vibrational beings or situations. What do I mean, Matt? If you're sad, you're going to attract somebody that's either sad too, or somebody who takes advantage of people who are in a sad state. Just one example. There's so many. If you are in a low vibrational state where you're feeling guilty or down or just, angry, you bring your body's auric field down to a lower vibrational state, and what it does is your auric field is dynamic. The higher you vibrate, the further out your auric field is. People who practice Reiki and study Reiki will understand this. Everybody has an auric field. My dog has an auric field, okay? And all beings have auric fields associated with them. If they have energy associated with them, they have an auric field. The lower your vibrational frequency, the shorter the span of your auric field. The higher your vibrational frequency, the higher the width or the span of or the greater the span of your auric field. Now, here's why that's important. If you're in a low vibrational state, you first of all, your auric field is kind of your defense as well. Because when you're vibrating high, wow, you shine like a light. When you're vibrating low, that light gets dim. Okay? If you live in New York, okay, all right, no, shout out to my people in New York, and no shade, no digs, but y'all know what it is in certain areas of New York, okay? When you turn the light out, those six-legged beings with the two antennae on them, they come out when that light's low, all right? When that light's high, they tend to hide, except for them few brave ones, all right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say the R word because I don't want to gross nobody out. Wifey might be watching this and she gets grossed out by even the thought of. Let me stop because I know she's watching this, but y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? So my point is, certain things come out in the dark, rodents, pests, whatever, and then when there's light out, let's take outside for example. You got the birds, you got the bees, things that vibrate high. So it's the same with our bodies. When you are in a low vibrational state, you attract low vibrational people. You might attract people that want to take advantage of you or whatever. on the flip side, when you're at a high vibrational state, you're happy, you're elated, you tend to make other people like, hey, wow, hey, man, you attract high vibrational situations. You attract abundance. You attract wealth. You attract health. Your body radiates health. When you're like this, oh man, I'm just sad, man. It's easier to get sick, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is, I just wanted to give you guys some examples. I want to try to keep this video short today. And I know that's a bad thing for me to say because every time I say that, I end up 20 minutes later wrapping up. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put for you on the screen right now a map, an image map that shows you the frequencies associated with different vibrations and such. Okay, so as you can see on the screen here, we've got a what I call a frequency map, which maps certain frequency ranges to certain emotions, and it shows you a reverse cone that shows you going from low to high, okay? At the bottom of that is shame. At the top of it is enlightenment, okay? Not everybody reaches enlightenment, but to get to enlightenment, these are like ladders. These are like rungs on a ladder, okay? For you to climb each one, for you to get to two above, you got to grab the one above, okay? So at the bottom, you got shame. Shame is the lowest vibration. Then you got guilt. You have apathy. You have grief. You have fear. People ask me why I don't watch news, why I don't watch mainstream media, because they're always pushing fear. Look what fear is on the scale. It's in a low scale. So if you're constantly consuming that, you may not realize it, but you're taking that in, okay? And by doing that, you're bringing your body's defenses down. When you're in a low vibrational state, you bring your body's defenses down, okay? And believe it or not, constant fatigue, tired, that puts you in a low vibrational state. That's why you have to get your sleep. This is why you're less likely to get a cold or whatever, or get sick when your body's well rested, well hydrated, well nourished, okay? When you're not hydrating, when you're tired all the time, you're getting 2 hours of sleep and you're getting up, you're pushing down coffee to try to stay awake, you're bringing your vibrations down. So you can quickly reverse that by saying, you know what, if I don't get to it today, whatever, it'll be there tomorrow. Drink some water, hydrate, go to bed. Go to bed happy. Watch something funny if you need to. If you need to end on a high note, watch something funny on television. Watch something that make you laugh. Why? We keep going up. Above fear, you got desire. People may not realize it or not. People may not realize it, but desire is a low vibration. Above desire, you have anger. Then you got pride. And at that 200 mark is where it starts to turn. You have courage. Courage is like that midpoint. All right, you know what? I'm going to be courageous. And then you hit neutrality. Neutrality is the true midpoint. You're neutral. You're not afraid or whatever. You just kind of chill. Neutrality is like, you know what? I ain't worried about nothing. Courage, you're having to get yourself up to be courageous. You're trying to climb above something that might make you afraid. So courage is moving in the right direction. But when you hit neutrality, you're like, you know what? I ain't worried about nothing. Okay? And then above that, you have neutrality. Above that, you have willingness. And then acceptance. Willingness. Hey, how can I help? Acceptance, you know what? Acceptance is kind of like neutral to me in a sense, because you're like, you know what? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I accept wherever I am right now. And if it's not ideal, it's okay. I'm going to get to ideal, so I'm not worried about it. All right? But you're still in a high vibrational state. Reason, love. This is why you have to vibrate love. This is why you have to vibrate love. That fourth chakra energy. You guys hear me talk about the chakra zones. Okay? From love, you have joy. Okay? And then peace. And then finally, at the top of the scale, enlightenment. But my point is, I've never seen a karate movie or anything, or a kung fu movie with one of those Shaolin monks sitting there meditating, and he's going, yo, excuse me, angels or ascended masters or whatever. People I'm trying to reach when I'm meditating. Let me get to. No, you don't see that. You don't see that. They're at a state of enlightenment, so they are vibrating as high as you can possibly vibrate. You ever notice how certain people attract animals, whether they're domestic or wild? I was watching a video the other day. This girl, she was sitting out doing a video by the lake, and a squirrel came up to her. Now, anybody that's out in nature, spends time out in nature, knows that squirrels are like some of the scariest. They're easily frightened. This woman is sitting here, and this squirrel comes up to her. Okay, you ever see anybody that birds, they come near you, or you go outside and birds that are nearby where you're going to be, they don't bother. They just keep doing what they do because they're not worried about. You're vibrating high. You got certain people that I've known people that had dogs, and they're like, man, this dog doesn't like anybody. They came up to you, or they came up to this person, whatever. That dog can sense that person's energy, and that energy puts that dog in a high vibrational state. They're like, wow, this person is radiating love or whatever. And then there's other people where their dogs don't ever bother anybody. Their dogs are just like neutral, and certain people come up, and that dog's like, rah, 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 rah. person's in a low vibrational state. Maybe they got something going on. They got some anger, some jealousy. Jealousy's not on here, but it should be. All of those are low vibrations. So I say all of that to say, and I wanted to share this with you guys. I hope you guys will pause the video and take a screenshot of this and look at the emotion mapping to the vibrational states. And understand that courage and neutrality is right there near the middle. That 200, that 250 zone, that's right near the middle. Anything below that, look at those. Look at those emotions, because everybody can understand those. Not everybody understands what it means to be high vibrational. Not everybody understands what it means to be low vibrational. But again, before I wrap this video up, I encourage you all to look at the examples I gave of that. I used a biblical scriptural example to illustrate how like attracts like. People always say, oh, opposites attract. That is one of the biggest misconceptions I think that has been perpetuated throughout the years. Opposites don't necessarily or don't really attract. And that doesn't mean that people who have differences won't like each other, won't get along. In the grand scheme, they are more alike than they are different, okay? They are more alike than they are different. You don't typically, for example, I love people from different cultures. Yeah, we're different, but I'm learning from them, they're learning from me. But the truth of the matter is, we have probably a lot more things in common than we do that are different. So it's our commonality that brings us together to learn about the differences. Hey, how do you guys do this over here in this country? How do you do it in that? One of the coolest things I noticed, and this is a story, I'll share this story and I'll wrap this up. When I was a soldier, active duty Army back in my teenage years, I got deployed to Kuwait at the age of 19. And one of the things I found very interesting is that even though we were from different cultures, what I found out in speaking to, and I got to interact with some Kuwaiti soldiers, and I got to interact with some Egyptian soldiers. And one of the things that I found that was very common between us is that at the end of the day, these guys, they talked about how much they loved their families. They talked about how much they loved food. They talked about how much they loved music and loved dancing. They talked about how much they love sports, even though our sports are different. In America, we tend to prefer, American football, and then baseball, basketball, that kind of thing. But and in other countries, the number one sport tends to be soccer, or what's known universally as football. They tend to prefer that. But at the same time, the fact is that, hey, everybody likes to see a good competition, good, friendly competition. So everybody likes good food. Everybody loves the kids, okay? Everybody loves their family. Everybody wants to sleep in a comfortable, warm bed, eat a good meal. Those are the things that we had in common. And so, when you get outside of the propaganda that you see perpetuated by the media and the fear-mongering, and you actually get out and meet people and talk to them, you find out that all of us are more alike than we are different. So I say all of that to say that, again, this is the third time I'm saying it. Check out the video that I posted, and again, there's a link. There'll be a link in the description box, and you probably saw the card here or there, wherever it is. Do opposites really attract? And look at the scriptural example I give for that. And then, you know what? After you look at that, screenshot this and pay attention to your state of being, because again, when you're in a high vibrational state, you're going to attract high vibrational people and situations. You are also going to repel low vibrational people and situations. When you're high vibrational, low vibrational beings can't stand being in your presence. Your light hurts their eyes. Your light literally hurts their eyes, okay? And that's not to say that you're going to be high vibrational all the time, but when you can recognize that, you can say, you know what, I'm normally in a good mood. What happened? You can then backtrace and see what it was. Was there an event that happened during that day, or a thing that happened that maybe you buried really quick that is still bothering you subconsciously or beneath the surface? Or did somebody come along and share a negative story with you that you sort of absorbed? If you're an empath, or you consider yourself to be an empath, or you identify as an empath, then you'll really understand this. I mean, when you're an empath, you have to protect yourself, because the job of an empath is to absorb you're going to absorb the environment around you, high functioning empaths are able to transmute that negative energy, and I believe that's why empaths are in the earth. You know, you're in here to take a negative and turn it into a positive. You're an alchemist of sorts. You're an emotional / energetic alchemist for the good. I did a video on that as well. Hopefully there'll be a card right there that I can post here. But yeah, it's important to understand when your mood changes all of a sudden, to try to figure out where that mood change came from, and then, hey, what can I do to reverse this so I can get back in this high vibrational state? Because I'm normally a high vibrational being. I'm normally operating in love, joy, reason, peace. What happened that brought this down? Am I picking up somebody else's emotions? Am I connected with someone else energetically and picking up their emotions? And if so, maybe can I call that person up? If I can identify who that is, can I call that person and just send them love? Just send that person love. Send them positive thoughts, or maybe just, you know, pick up the phone and call them, say, hey, how you doing? Or I hope you have a nice day. Do something, because in helping them, you're actually helping yourself. So stay high vibrational, stay high. I didn't say get high. I said stay high, okay? All right? But no judgment if you get high. Look, do what you got to do. I'm not here to judge, all right? I love you anyway. So listen, that's all I have for you today, folks. I know that I told you that I'm an award-winning author of 2 books, and I was going to give you at the end a compelling reason for why you want to read them. In my first award-winning book, which won 5 awards between the first edition and the second edition. First edition published in 2015, second edition published in 2017. I won 5 awards, including Best New Nonfiction of 2017, okay, from the Canada's Book Excellence Awards. And then most recently, Stuck in an Elevator, which won finalist for Best New Fiction Book. So that was my foray into fiction, and it felt good to receive that accomplishment or that achievement my first time out the gate. But Stuck in an Elevator, From Fear to Faith, a Survivor Story. Why do you want to read that? Because that story is a compelling look and examination of how mindset, we're talking about high vibrations right now, how mindset can help you to overcome the absolute worst of circumstances. In 2011, I was diagnosed with a rare and very deadly form of what I call the C word, okay? And I had a lot of negativity and low vibration coming at me. Hey, do something about this quickly or you're gonna die. But in that story, I show you how having the right mindset, how setting a goal and saying, I'm not stopping till I get there, how that can help you to achieve and overcome, okay? Incredible odds. I don't want to give away the story, so I'll zip it up here. Okay, that is From Fear to Faith, a Survivor Story. It's my best-selling book. I've sold more copies of that than any other book that I've written. Okay, and I've published 3, and I've got some people working on me for the follow-up to Stuck in an Elevator, because I left a cliffhanger in there, which is a nice segue into Stuck in an Elevator. Stuck in an Elevator is an interesting look into passion and self-discovery. And in that book, another theme that I talked about in this video, you're going to see that it doesn't matter how different you may look, okay, or be. We all share some of the same experiences, okay? So you never want to judge a book by its cover. That's Stuck in an Elevator, a tale of passion and self-discovery that takes place high above the Los Angeles skyline. It's a quick read, but it's rich. It's rich, okay? Alrighty, so that is all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you for watching. If you are new to my channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button so that you can be notified when I upload new content. And if you're a returning visitor, returning viewer, thank you for the vote of confidence. Thank you for letting me know that you like what I'm doing, because when you're an artist, independent artist especially, you can't know until somebody tells you. So I thank you guys for all of the comments, all of the thumbs up, all the likes, and for all of the support and feedback you guys give me. Also on my social media, you can reach me on Instagram at Matt D. Talford, and my blog, www.mdtalford.com. And I'll wrap this up by saying, tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? It's only one way to mean it. You have to show them. Love is an action word that requires action. Without it, I love you I love you is a group of empty words. Writers are always editing ourselves for some reason. Anyway, if you say I love you and you do nothing, you mean nothing. I mean, you're never showing it. Is it empty? Do you mean it? So love is an action word. You have to show it, and it's also something that you feel from right here. Maybe one day I'll do a video talking about the heart, because that's important too. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for all that you do to inspire me. You guys inspire me so much more than you know. And I'm inspired by reading your comments as well. So please leave a comment and perhaps share this video with a family member. Take care and be blessed.